Dear students, in Lifestyle Diseases and Prevention subject, we will learn a new topic, that is high blood pressure induced kidney diseases. Okay, before going to this topic directly, we should know the importance of high blood pressure and the common kidney disorders so that we can understand this topic very easily. So first we will have a common question. What is meant by high blood pressure? Blood pressure is the force of blood pushing against blood vessel walls as your heart pumps out blood. High blood pressure, also called hypertension, in an increase in the amount of force that blood places on blood vessels as it moves through the body. What are the kidneys and what they do? Healthy kidneys filter about a half cup of blood every minute, removing wastes and extra water to make urine. The urine flows from each kidney to the bladder through a pair of thin tubes called ureters, one on each side of your bladder. Your bladder stores urine. Your kidneys, ureters, and bladder are part of your urinary tract system. Now we will have the question, how does high blood pressure affect the kidneys? High blood pressure can constrict and narrow the blood vessel, which eventually damage and weakens them throughout the body, including in the kidneys. The narrowing reduces the blood flow. If your kidneys' blood vessels are damaged, they may no longer work properly. When this happens, the kidneys are not able to remove all wastes and extra fluid from your body. Extra fluid in the blood vessel can raise your blood pressure even more, creating a dangerous cycle and cause more damage, leading to kidney failure. How common are high blood pressure and kidney disease? Almost 1 in 2 US adults, or about 108 million people, have high blood pressure. More than 1 in 7 adults, or about 37 million people, are having chronic kidney diseases in the United States. High blood pressure is the second leading cause of kidney failure in the United States after diabetes. Now we will have the next question. How common are high blood pressure and kidney diseases? Who is more likely to have high blood pressure or kidney disease? First we will discuss about the persons who are highly susceptible for high blood pressure. That is older ages. Blood pressure tends to increase with age. Our blood vessels naturally thicken and stiffen over time. Having family members with high blood pressure. High blood pressure tends to run in family members. Okay, then having unhealthy lifestyle habits. Unhealthy habits such as eating too much sodium, that is salt, in the diet, drinking too much alcohol beverages, or not being physically active can increase the risk of high blood pressure. Then African-based Americans. High blood pressure is more common in African American adults than in Caucasian, Hispanic, or Asian adults. Male. Men are more likely to develop high blood pressure before the age of 55. Women are more likely to develop it after age 55. Now we will discuss the major persons who are susceptible for the common kidney diseases. In addition to high blood pressure, other factors that increases your risk of kidney diseases are diabetes, a family history of kidney failure, race or ethnicity, and general ethnicity factors. High blood pressure can be both a cause and a result of kidney disease. Now we'll discuss what are the symptoms of high blood pressure and kidney disease? Most people with high blood pressure do not have symptoms. In rare cases, high blood pressure can cause headaches. Early chronic kidney diseases also may not have symptoms. As kidney disease gets worse, some people may have swelling called edema. Edema happens when the kidney cannot get rid of extra fluid and salt. Edema can occur in legs, feet, ankles, or less often in the hands or face. Symptoms of advanced kidney disease can include loss of appetite, nausea, vomiting, drowsiness, feeling tired or sleep problems, headaches or trouble concentrating, increased or decreased urination, generalized itching or numbness, dry skin or darkened skin, weight loss, muscle cramp, chest pain or shortness of breath. These are all the major advanced kidney disease symptoms. How do healthcare professionals diagnose high blood pressure and kidney disease? High blood pressure. Blood pressure test results are written with the two numbers separated by a slash. The top number is called the systolic pressure and represents the pressure as the heart beats and pushes blood through the blood vessels. The bottom number is called the diastolic pressure and represents the pressure of blood vessels relax between heartbeats. Your heart care professional will diagnose you with high blood pressure if your blood pressure readings are consistently higher than 130 to 80 millimeter mercury when tested repeatedly in the hospital. Healthcare professional measure blood pressure with a blood pressure cuff. You can also buy a blood pressure cuff to monitor your blood pressure even at home. Kidney disease. A blood test that checks how well your kidneys are filtering your blood called GFR, that is glomerular filtration rate. A urine test to check albumin. Albumin is a protein that can pass into the urine when the kidneys are damaged. If you have kidney disease, your healthcare professional will use the same two tests to monitor the status of your kidney disease. How can we prevent or slow the progression of kidney disease from high blood pressure? The best way to slow or prevent kidney disease from high blood pressure is to take steps to lower the blood pressure. These steps include a combination of medicines and lifestyle changes such as being physically active, maintaining a healthy weight, quitting smoking, managing stress, following a healthy diet including less sodium intake. No matter what the cause of your kidney disease, high blood pressure can make your kidneys worse. If you have kidney disease, you should talk with your healthcare professional about your individual blood pressure goals and how often you should have your blood pressure checked. Medicines. Medicines that lower blood pressure can also significantly slow the progression of kidney disease. Two types of blood pressure lowering medications called angiotensin converting enzyme inhibitors and angiotensin receptor blockers may be effective in slowing the progression of kidneys. Many people require two or more medications to control their blood pressure. In addition to an ACE inhibitor or an ARB, a healthcare professional may prescribe a diuretic, a medication that helps the kidneys to remove fluid from the blood, or other blood pressure medications. Now we will discuss the role of physical activity in the management of high blood pressure and induced kidney disease. Physical activity. Regular physical activity can lower your blood pressure and reduce your chances of other health problems. Aim for at least 150 minutes per week of moderate intensity aerobic activity. These activities make your heart beat faster and may cause you to breathe harder. Start by trying to be active for at least 10 minutes at a time without breaks. You can count each 10-minute segment of activity towards your physical activity goal. Aerobic activities includes biking, swimming, brisk walking, wheeling yourself in a wheelchair, or engaging in activities that will support you such as chair aerobics. Biking is one type of moderate intensity exercise that can help lower your blood pressure and weight. If you have concerns, a healthcare professional can provide information about how much and what kinds of activities are safe for you. Now we will discuss the role of body weight in the prevention of hypertension induced kidney diseases. If you are overweight or have obese, aims to reduce your weight by 7 to 10% during the first year of treatment for high blood pressure. This amount of weight loss can lower your chance of developing health problems related to high blood pressure. Body mass index. It is the tool most commonly used to estimate and screen for overweight and obesity in adults. Body mass index is a measure based on your weight in relation to your height. Your BMI can tell if you are at a normal or healthy weight or overweight or having obesity. If the body mass index ranges between 18.5 to 24.9, you are said to be normal or healthy weight individual. If the BMI range lies between 25.1 to 29.9, it is considered to be overweight. Suppose if an individual is having the BMI range within 30 to 39.9, it is considered to be obese. And those who have the BMI range more than 40 are called extremely obese. So this is about the different ranges of body mass index used to differentiate the body weight. Smoking, next one. If you smoke, you should quit. Smoking can damage blood vessels, raise the chance of developing high blood pressure, and worsen health problems related to high blood pressure. If you have high blood pressure, talk with the healthcare professional about the programs and products to help you quit smoking. Stress. Learning how to manage stress, relax, and cope with problems can improve your emotional and physical health. Some activities that may help you reduce stress include being physically active, practicing yoga, listening to music, focusing on something calm, and meditating. Physical activity can reduce stress and lower blood pressure. How does eating, diet, and nutrition affect high blood pressure induced kidney diseases? Following a healthy eating plan can help to lower your blood pressure. Reducing the amount of sodium in your diet is an important part of any healthy eating plan. Your doctor may recommend the dietary approaches to stop hypertension eating plan. Okay, the eating diet should have the following important points. It should be low in fat and cholesterol. It should be fat-free or low-fat milk and dairy products. Less red meat, sweets, added sugars and sugar-containing beverages, rich in nutrients, protein, and fiber. A healthy eating plan includes a variety of healthy, nutritious foods. A registered dietitian can help tailor you to a desired diet to control your kidney disease. If you have congestive heart failure or edema, a diet low in sodium intake can help reduce edema and lower blood pressure. Reducing saturated fat and cholesterol can help control high levels of lipids or fat in the blood. People with advanced kidney disease should speak with their healthcare professional about their diets. What should I avoid eating if I have high blood pressure or kidney disease? This is an obvious question all of us will have. That is, what are the foods that we should avoid in terms of managing hypertension and kidney? If you have kidney disease, avoid foods and beverages that are high in sodium. This is the most important point. Additional steps you can take to meet your blood pressure goals may include eating heart healthy and low sodium meals, quitting smoking, being active, getting enough sleep, and taking your medicines as prescribed. You should also limit alcoholic drinks no more than 2 per day for men and 1 per day for women, because consuming too many alcoholic beverages will definitely raise your blood pressure. In addition, a healthcare professional may recommend that you eat moderate to or reduced amounts of protein. Proteins break down into waste products that the kidney filter from the blood. Eating more protein than your body needs may burden your kidneys and cause kidney function to decline faster. However, eating too little protein may lead to malnutrition, a condition that occurs when the body does not get enough nutrients. If you have kidney disease and are on a restricted protein diet, a healthcare professional will use blood testers to monitor your nutrients level. So students, so far we have discussed the detailed information about hypertension, kidney diseases, what are all the major symptoms for both hypertension and kidney diseases, how can we prevent, what is the correlation available between the hypertension which inducing kidney problems in the selected individuals. So by maintaining the healthy blood pressure, we can avoid most of the kidney related diseases. Okay, already we have discussed the topic hypertension in another presentation, so you can include that preventive measures here. So this is what the flow that you need to prepare for your university examinations. Please refer the material what I have shared to you, and we will discuss a new topic in the next class in detail. Thank you so much.